Networking and marketing made simple is for you, the business owner who has a product, a service, or a message that you believe in. My name is Scott Aaron, and each week we'll take a behind-the-scenes look into the real-world marketing and networking tactics and strategies for getting what you have in front of you to a lot more people. Thanks for spending time with me, and now let's get started. Hey there, and welcome back to another episode of Networking and Marketing Made Simple. Super excited for today's episode. Have another amazing interview lined up for you. I have my good friend Linda Barutha here with me. And why I wanted Linda to come on here today is we had a great offline chat a few weeks back. She is a digital marketing expert and specialist. And in the age that we're in right now, especially with the temperature of the environment that we're in, where a lot of businesses have been moved online, a lot of people have forgotten that there are specific aspects and areas of business that need to be looked at and improved. And digital marketing, your marketing presence, is one of those. And this is exactly why I wanted Linda to come on here today. So with that all being said, Linda, welcome to today's episode.
Thank you so much for having me, Scott. I appreciate it.
So before we dive in to all the things that we're going to be discussing, for my audience that is not familiar with you or what it is that you do, say hi to the audience, a brief description, and more importantly, how did you find yourself getting into the digital marketing world, not only as a passion, but now as a business?
Yeah, great question. So, yes, I'm a digital marketing strategist, and that came to be from a very long journey. I started out years ago, back in maybe 2011, as having a product-based business. And I actually had a brick and mortar for 3 years where I taught mixed media art. And I ended up developing my own product line, sold it wholesale to other retailers. I sold it in their stores, was on Zulily a couple times. So had a lot of great success with the in-person experience, if you will. But then my husband got a job that had us moving 3 hours out of town. So obviously I had to close that business. I come from a background of before the product-based business of being a website designer. That I just did freelance while I worked full-time in the IT industry. So IT is just like the back of my hand. It's what I'm most familiar with. So what happened is after we moved and I literally struggled. I mean, I already had an online presence for my product-based business, but I really struggled with understanding how to market your business in the online world. So after about a year, I literally shut down my product-based business and spent all of my time educating myself. And really, in between all of that, I did like online business coaching for people that were, there's always new startups. There's always new startups, and they always need some direction from somebody who's already been there, right? But I knew that that wasn't something that I wanted to do long term. So instead, all of my education, if you will, on marketing yourself had me analyzing what I liked and what I didn't like, because there's a lot of different ways you can market yourself online. And what I found and what I landed on that worked best for me is a combination of referral network marketing, because I absolutely love establishing real life relationships with the people that I'm going to help. Okay, so that was part of it. And so I got into probably about 3 years ago, building my own referral networking program, I should say. And I really enjoyed that. And now today, referral networking is a huge part of my business, but that's not the only part. because what I have found is you still need to be more visible, and you need to build your authority in what it is that you do, right? So I kept building upon my education. I'm always learning. I'm always trying to follow and analyze, if you will, what new things that come out, and determining, does it fit within who I am, or is it something that I feel is just a fad? As an example, I don't dance on TikTok. Okay, it's just not me. And but I am all about basically going on other people's audiences, their Facebook groups or whatever, and presenting educational webinars, basically trying to get the word out of what I believe in. And as far as what I believe in a couple things. One is authenticity is number one. So that's a huge part of it. But the other part is working smarter and not harder. And the way I see that is using SEO, search engine platforms, over just social media. I see so many people that think that, and I think they think this because they read a great Facebook post, right? Or an Instagram post that says, oh, well, if you just show up X amount of days and, like, tell everybody that you're making $10,000 overnight while you're sleeping and all of that, you're going to get this great following and you're going to sell out your first program. And that's just not true. I remember years ago, and in my journey, I created my first online course, and I was so excited. I dived right in and did all the things, and never dawned on me that once I was done with building it, I had no way of marketing it or who to market to, right? So if you don't have that online visibility in place, it's not going to do you any good to create this awesome product, right? So that was a painful lesson. And so I prefer to help people by saying, first of all, be true to who you are, write great content that is really serving people, and then start repurposing that on search engines like Pinterest, like YouTube. That is going to get you the organic growth. I'm not saying don't go on social media. You, of course, have to still have some presence there, but that is not going to be the end all be all,
Well, I agree on so many levels, because I think there's a combination of FOMO, the fear of missing out. So if you don't go with the latest trends, you're not doing the TikTok dances, you're not doing the reels, you're not doing those things that, your business might flounder. But here's what people need to understand. You have to think about who you're looking to target. Now, some people, their business is based off of doing TikTok dances. Their
Right.
business is based off of doing Instagram reels. Now, I'm not on TikTok. I think it's a very toxic platform. My wife and I canceled both of our profiles because of, there's no age restriction. It's really the Wild West, and there's just really disturbing things on there. I do like and enjoy creating LinkedIn or Instagram reels, because,
Mhm.
and it's just another form of motivation and inspiration. I'm not dancing, I'm not doing anything like that, but it shows people the lighter side of me, because everyone sees the professional side of me on LinkedIn. They see the personal side of me on Facebook, but on Instagram, they see the goofy side of me, which I like. So I
Yeah.
use each specific platform the way that I feel it best represents who I am as a genuine and authentic person.
Right.
The other thing that people need to understand is that, SEO, or search engine optimization, is really, really important. Social media is rented land. So if all of the social media platforms suddenly disappeared, how would people then find you, right? They would find you, through a website or maybe a podcast or a book. And the way that they're going to find you is using a search engine like Google, YouTube, Yahoo, Bing, Pinterest. And if you're not making yourself available to be seen outside of social media, you're doing yourself and your business a disservice. And this is what digital marketing is all about. You have to think about, how do I move an ideal client or customer from online to offline as quickly as possible, whether it's through a landing page, an opt-in, a sales page, a funnel, where you're then able to nurture them through a very genuine, authentic email sequence. Because people have, I don't know what's happened. And Linda, I would love to get your opinion on this, because no one talks enough about email list building. They always talk about, growing your network online. How many followers can you get on Instagram? How many connections can you have on LinkedIn? How many Facebook friends? But what about your email list? Because there's more value from a monetary standpoint from a thriving email list than you will ever have from connections, friends, and followers on social media. So speak to that really quickly.
That's really funny you mentioned that, because a year ago, well, at least a year ago, I was deep into email marketing. I'm a firm believer in it. I agree with everything you said. And I really thought that I was going to land there, as that was going to be my tool. As a matter of fact, if people go to my YouTube, they're probably going to see a lot of email marketing YouTube videos on there, because that's when I was into a lot of that, until I ended up going a little bit further and realizing the power of repurposing content. And that's where I got obsessed, right? So I am a firm believer in email marketing. That is really the long-term objective, is to always, that's one of your main objectives, really. Get those people in your orbit. It's way better to have them on your email list as opposed to just being a follower on Facebook, right? So, because then you can, look at the day that Facebook didn't work, right? You can still go and sell to your audience, or just talk to them and educate them on the importance, right? I mean, there were people that are digital marketers that are obsessed with email marketing, and I agree with them, but they were so funny because they couldn't wait to get that email out that particular day and say, hey, hello. So no, email marketing totally better be one of your main objectives. But that's where that SEO, the thing I like about SEO is that, okay, it all works on the whole premise of how the internet got started. Like, I remember back in the 1990s, when I actually had a computer at home, not just at work, right? And I remember looking at the internet and thinking, okay, how are they going to find you? Right? That was my number one question in my head. How on earth, just because I build something out here, how are they going to find me? And that's when Google came along and made it so much easier, where it was like, oh, put in your keywords. And even to this day, I always try to remind people, what's the number one thing you go to? There's two places people go to when they're looking for a particular service, right? Let's say at home, you're looking for a plumber. Well, number one, you're going to ask neighbors or friends. That's a referral, right? Number two, you're going to Google who's local to me, who can I find that's, that I actually like. And oh, do they have a real website? Because if they don't, I don't want to do business with them, because I don't think they've been in business long enough and they don't take it seriously. I mean, you make a lot of judgment calls on what it is that you find in Google. Okay. So those, by the way, are not cold leads. Those are warm. Those are people already looking for what it is that you have to offer. So why would you ignore that? So to me, what really is most powerful, though, is we spend all this time creating all this great content, right? why not repurpose it everywhere possible? Everywhere, both social and search engines. And that's really what my now I have a marketing agency, and that's what we do for people. We do their content management. We literally repurpose all of their great, what I call cornerstone content, and get it onto all of those platforms. It's important.
Yeah, this is something that we really agreed upon because my wife started her own uh, personal branding marketing agency called BYOB Social and BYOB Agency, where we actually have our own posting platform where people can post their content out. But Nancy works with high level business owners and agency owners where they give her, like you said, they give her a piece of content. It's typically a 2 to 4 minute video. And then our team goes in and they chop it up and they create 5 to 7 pieces of content from that is then put out on the social media platforms of their choice. And it is about working smarter and not harder. Now, for me, I also love using a tool because I do a lot of video content. I use an application called Repurpose Io. And Repurpose Io, very inexpensive. I think it's like $29 a month. And what you can do is you can create these workflows where, just as an example, if you go live on your Facebook page, you can actually connect the flow to your YouTube channel. So when you go on live on your Facebook page, after it's done, it will then automatically repurpose it and post it on your YouTube channel. Another flow that I have is when my podcast episodes come out, they get automatically streamed to my Facebook business page. So there's the whole episode they can listen to on there and my YouTube channel. So again, people always wonder, well, how are you everywhere at once? Well, there's agencies like the one that Linda has and the one that we have, but also there's tools out there that you can utilize. So people think it's so difficult to repurpose content and be everywhere at once. But if you just did some research and looked and sought after that and saw that there's people that actually help you with this, being omnipresent not only saves you time, it saves you money, saves you energy, and it actually allows you to work on your business instead of working in your business. And that's what I love so much about it. So let's talk about the importance of being omnipresent, because again, something that my wife and I taught in our branding blueprint course is that you should pick one main social media platform as your primary, and then obviously you have your secondary ones after that. So how important is it for a business owner to have that primary social media focus and then obviously repurpose and be omnipresent on the rest?
Oh, it's extremely important because that's one thing I see very few people doing, but I think it's really, really, really important. Take a look at the type of service that you're offering and the ideal client for that service, and then decide, okay, where are those people most likely going to be spending their time so they have the best possible chance of finding me? Is it LinkedIn? Is it Facebook? Is it Instagram? Know your audience, know their demographics, know where they love to spend their time. When I used to be in the craft and hobby industry, Instagram, they are crazy over there because it's more visual, right? So they're going to see a lot more artists on Instagram than you are going to see. And the thing is that I love to say, well, great, now tack on Pinterest because it's a search engine. One of my signature programs is my Pin to Win program, where we repurpose a person's content, but all on Pinterest. And again, we're really building upon what they already have and where they've already shown up, but we're tailoring it specifically to Pinterest. And a lot of, again, product-based businesses, they've already known this for years. Bloggers have known it for years. What people don't understand is that service providers are also on Pinterest. And so it's kind of a myth that Pinterest is only for foodies and bloggers,
So where do you see the digital marketing world going, not just this year in 2022, but moving into the future as more people are now coming online and growing their business?
I see a lot more video. I see a lot more video, and TikTok is just a perfect example of one way that video is being used, right? But now, like last year, Google came out with Google Web Stories. We did a search, my marketing manager did a search the other day and could only find 300 articles about Google Web Stories. And I found that really interesting because people are not talking about it enough. It is a way that when you put in a Google search, that a little video can pop up in the results, talking about your services or whatever. And people are going to gravitate more to a video in the search results, right? That gets their attention. And so I really think Google Web Stories is silent right now, but I think it's going to really grow. And that tells me that video overall is going to be that much more important.
I think YouTube shorts are also going to start to really grow. And for people that don't know that, so I have two YouTube channels, and so you can upload just a regular YouTube video, or you can create something called a short, which is up to a minute long, short little clip video where, there's a lot of people now that are starting YouTube channels based off of their Instagram reels and their TikTok videos, because they're basically taking those short form videos, repurposing them, and just creating a YouTube channel based off of just what they've already done. So you're going to see some short form, but I agree with you wholeheartedly that video still, for me, it's been number one the last 7 to 8 years, and it's still being underutilized. And I don't feel that it's undervalued. I think people are afraid of it, but the more they lean into that fear, the better things will move forward in their business. Now, Linda, before I get to my last question, tell the audience a little bit about what you have going on from a business standpoint and how they can connect with you further if interested in working together on how you help people with digital marketing.
Yeah. So I have two signature programs right now. One is the Pin to Win. That is a full concierge service where we take all of your cornerstone content, repurpose it on Pinterest to get you more of those warm leads coming to your website regularly, right? So it increases your online visibility. The other one, though, is I found that there are a lot of online business owners that aren't ready to pay to have that service. So I created Pin to Win Academy. It is a 6-month long program that teaches you literally step by step, and it's a hybrid, meaning that it's not just a digital course that you purchase and just do on your own. It is a combination of that with me also doing the trainings live every week in a private setting for the group. So in addition to weekly hot seat coaching calls to answer any questions or any problems. These are people that maybe are not technically inclined, but yet they also can't afford to pay for the people doing the work for them. So it's a really reasonable rate, and they can go ahead, and I'll provide the link for that. But those are two, because Pinterest, I think, is very underutilized by the service-based provider. The other thing we just put brand new on our homepage of our website is it is a tool that measures your current online visibility ranking. And by going through it, it's like a quiz, if you will, but it takes you through not only just providing, answering the questions, but you then also, based on your questions, are going to get some actionable steps of what you can do to start increasing that online visibility and building authority.
Love all that. And for all the listeners, all the information of where you can find out about all of Linda's programs and how you can connect with her will be provided in the description of this episode. So you're not going to have to go too far. So Linda, final question before we sign off. What does success truly mean to you?
To me, it's serving others with what I already know. And to me, that I get really jazzed about that. I love helping other people, and I don't gather this knowledge just to hold on to it for myself. I literally, I'm teaching what I've already learned.
Part of having a gift inside of you, the responsibility of that is to then share it with others, because everything that my wife and I have created, much like you, is to serve and help other people become successful. It's, why should just certain people enjoy the success of the life and the business they've created? Why not teach others how to do the same thing? And that's exactly what you're doing. And that's exactly why I wanted you on here today. So, Linda, thank you so much for taking the time to come on here today and share all your knowledge and your love with my audience. Just really appreciate you and just grateful for you to be here today.
Thank you so much for having me, Scott.
Absolutely. So again, anyone that is interested in learning further from Linda and how she helps people, her course links will be available in the description of this episode. So I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Please enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye, everyone. Thank you so much again for checking out today's episode. And if you are listening through iTunes, Spotify, wherever you are, please leave me a rating and review. Let me know what you loved, what you would like to see improved, or ideas you have for future episodes. And if you are interested in taking your business to the next level, don't hesitate to go to my website, www.scottaaron.net, where you can schedule a free discovery call with me, where I can learn more about you, your business, what you're struggling with, and how we can work together. And don't forget to check out my wife, Nancy, and mine, our free community on Facebook called LinkedIn Leads for Life. We would love to see you in there. Have a great rest of your day. And thank you, everyone, for your support. Grateful for each and every one of you.